Good morning, students. This is Kumud Parashar from KV Mokama Ghat. Today we will discuss the chemical properties of metals. First, we will discuss the reaction of metal with oxygen. Almost all metal combine with oxygen to form metal oxides. The root word equation for this is metal plus oxygen. After reaction, it will form metal oxide. We know that metal oxides are basic in nature. For example, when copper is heated in air, it combines with oxygen to form copper oxide. It is a black colored oxide which is formed on the layer of copper. The equation for this is 2Cu plus O2. After reaction, it will form 2CuO, copper oxide. Similarly, when aluminium is heated, it combines with oxygen to form aluminium oxide. 4Al plus 3O2. After reaction, it will form 2Al2O3. It is aluminium oxide. These metal oxides are basic oxides because we know that metal oxides are basic in nature. Some metal vigorously react with oxygen and form metal oxides, and a lot of energy is released. For example, 4Na plus O2, it will form 2Na2O, that is sodium oxide. Similarly, potassium in presence of oxygen burns vigorously and form K2O, potassium oxide, and lot of energy is released. But there are some metal oxides which shows acidic and basic properties. They are called amphoteric oxides. Amphoteric oxides are those metal oxides which react with acid as well as bases. So these are called amphoteric oxides. Example of amphoteric oxides are aluminum oxides and zinc oxide. Here we can see aluminum oxide with hydrochloric acid form aluminum chloride and water. Al2O3 plus 6HCl. After reaction, it will form 2AlCl3 plus 3H2O. Similarly, Al2O3 aluminum oxide react with base, that is NaOH, to form sodium aluminate and water is released. The reaction for this is Al2O3 plus NaOH. After reaction, it will form NaAlO2, that is sodium aluminate, plus H2O. All metals do not react with oxygen at the same rate. Different metals shows different reactivities towards oxygen. Some react vigorously, some react slowly. Metals such as potassium and sodium react vigorously, that they are catch fire if kept in open. So, to protect them and to prevent accidental fires, they are kept immersed in kerosene oil. At ordinary temperature, the surfaces of metals such as magnesium, aluminum, zinc, lead are covered with a thin layer of oxide. The protective oxide layer prevents these metals to further oxidation. So they are called self-protecting metals. If magnesium is heated, it burns with a bright flame. If iron is heated, it glows brightly. And if copper is heated, it does not burn, but it forms a black coating of copper oxide. Silver and gold are those metals who do not react with oxygen even at high temperature. So they are called unreactive metals. Again, we will discuss the reaction of metals with water. Metals react with water and produce a metal oxide, also metal hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Metal hydroxide forms those metals who are soluble in water and dissolve in it to further form metal hydroxide. But all the metals do not react with water. There are some example for the reaction of metal with water. That is sodium plus water. It will form sodium hydroxide and hydrogen. The reaction is 2Na plus 2H2O. After reaction, it will form 2NaOH. That is sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas. Metals like potassium and sodium react violently with cold water. In case of sodium and potassium, the reaction is so violent and exothermic that the evolved hydrogen immediately catches fire. That's why they shows exothermic reaction. Potassium with water forms potassium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. The reaction for that is 2K plus H2O. After reaction, it will form 2KOH, potassium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas. Similarly, calcium react with water less violently. The heat evolved is not sufficient for the hydrogen to catch fire. So it is also exothermic reaction, but do not catch fire. Calcium plus H2O, after reaction it will form calcium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas release. Metals like aluminium, iron and zinc do not react either with cold and hot water, but they react with steam, vapor form to form the metal oxide and hydrogen. The reaction for aluminium with water is 2Al plus 3H2O. After reaction it will form Al2O3 plus H2. Similarly, iron also react with water in vapor form and it forms ferrous oxide and hydrogen gas release. 3Fe plus 4H2O. After reaction it will form Fe2O3 plus 4H2. So, the reactivity of different metals with water is different. Sodium and potassium are those metals who react violently with cold water to form sodium hydroxide and hydrogen, which catches fire. Calcium react less violently with water to form calcium hydroxide and water, and it do not catches fire. Magnesium react only with hot water to form magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen. Metals like aluminium, iron and zinc react only with steam to form metals oxide and hydrogen. And some metals like lead, copper, silver and gold do not react with water. So they are unreactive with water. Thank you.